Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by the movie hangout. Well, it's quarantine day number, I don't know, I think we're up to like in the high 20s right now. I've lost count. But one thing I've done is I've really kept up with entertainment news. And the other day, sadly, actor Brian Dennehy passed away. Very, very sad. Here's a picture of Brian right here. Brian was a fantastic actor, class act. Everybody I've ever spoken with who's ever worked with him said that he was just like a regular blue collar guy that just happened to be an actor. Didn't treat anybody beneath him. He didn't treat anybody like they were a superstar. Just the type of guy you'd want to work with. So let's just check out Brian Dennehy, his life, as well as some of his greatest movies that he's been in, because he's been in a lot. I forgot about a lot of these, and it's truly remarkable how many not only great films he's been in, but he's been in some amazing television movies, and more importantly, his stage work is like world renowned. Unfortunately, I never got to see him actually work on stage, but the reviews for Death of a Salesman, which he played the lead character in, I mean, every review I've ever read said he was just mesmerizing, absolutely fantastic. So let's check it out. So Brian Denny was born on July 9th, 1938. He passed away on April 15th, 2020 in New Haven, Connecticut. He was a big guy. He was 6'3". A lot of leading men are like around 5'9", 5'10". Anytime I've ever met somebody who was an A-list actor, especially a man, it's surprising how short they are. It really is. Like unless you're going to run into a guy like The Rock or somebody like that, um, they're usually shorter dudes, and this guy's 6'3", so he was a big guy. Um, let's see here. So let's go through some of the films. They have a nice list up here on Google. First Blood. So Brian Denny played the sheriff in the small town that John Rambo got into it with, and he played basically the antagonist in that film. First Blood, as you know, is the first Rambo film. Absolutely amazing. Um, I mean, he really played he tiptoed across the line of being a cop who was just kind of like doing his job, but he was just pushing it way too far. And from his perspective, he thought John Rambo was just some, hitchhiking vagrant who was going to start trouble. But when you see John Rambo and what he went through during his life, especially during Vietnam, you see from his perspective that he's really just doing nothing wrong. He's just trying to get through it. So First Blood, and then next up, more importantly, Tommy Boy. He played Chris Farley's father in this. This has got to be one of my favorite films ever, honestly. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Brian looks like Chris Farley's dad in this, and there's a lot of touching scenes that if you want to just go on YouTube, just type in Brian Dennehy, Tommy Boy. It's really, really good. One of the lines I love the most is um, Brian is going to get married to Bo Derek, and Chris Farley's standing next to him, and they're wearing their tux. And Brian says to David Spade, he asks him, he says, he asks him, so how do we look? And David Spade looks at them and he goes, chubby. It's so good. You got to check it. Next is Cocoon. I had no idea he was even in that. That came out in 1985, and it's about a bunch of old people that go swimming in a pool with these like they look like alien pods or like these big boulders. They don't really know what they are, and it makes them like young, and they kind of like absorb the life force of these beings, and it's really interesting. It came in 1985. That was really good. Silverado was a western I haven't seen, but I've heard good things. To Catch a Killer, it looks like he's playing John Wayne Gacy right here. That's creepy. The Next 3 Days. Oh, this was fantastic. This starred Russell Crowe. It's kind of like a heist type movie. Really good. Not many people have seen this, but I would definitely suggest if you have a lot of free time, especially right now, check it out. It's a fantastic film starring uh, Brian Denny plays Russell Crowe's father in it. Really, really good. Really pulls your heartstrings. Gladiator. Gladiator is a boxing movie that at the time an unknown Cuba Gooding Jr. was in, and I believe Dennehy plays the antagonist in it. Presumed Innocent. This starring Harrison Ford. Really, really great mystery film. Ratatouille. It's a Pixar film. Came out in 2009. That's great. That's really, really good. It's about a bunch of rats in France, and the rat wants to be a cook, a high end cook. Let's see here. We got Legal Eagles. That stars Robert Redford. Righteous Kill, starring Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Assault on Precinct 13 came out in 2005. That's a remake of John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13. Bestseller is probably actually James Woods said that this is his favorite film that he's ever worked on. I'm probably going to be watching that this weekend, and that is starring James Woods, who is awesome, super smart, super talented guy, and Brian Dennehy. So I'll definitely be checking that one out. Let's see. Then we got Return to Snowy River. It's kind of one of those Disney cowboy romance films. Never Cry Wolf. Deadly Matrimony. Summer Catch. That's one of my favorite baseball films. When I was in high school, I watched that. It stars Freddie Prinze Jr. Basically, it's about like if you ever played like summer baseball, like in a summer baseball league, like American Legion or they're like a travel league. That's something that if you're into that, you would definitely love that. He was in the Bo Derek movie 10, which is funny because he worked with her again in Tommy Boy. Fist. It's one of these Stallone action movies. And let's see what else. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. There's a lot of movies here that I haven't heard of but have done well. So I would definitely Google Brian and just check out the career that he's had. Well, thanks for watching my tribute to Brian Dennehy and his career. Sadly, Brian passed away at the age of 81, but his life and his career will always live on in the hearts of his fans and his family. And also, his amazing career is forever immortalized on film. So I would definitely suggest, if you have some time, check out some of his movies. He's a fantastic actor and he was a heck of a nice guy. Well, if you want to get future rants, reviews, and original content, click subscribe. Thanks for watching.